Hey, what's going on YouTube? Nasif here from Click, and today we are going to be again in the 2023 Integra. As you guys can see, the weather is not super great, and also don't mind my voice. I seem to have waken up with a little bit of not a bug or a cold or something, but just feeling a little bit congested this morning. So today we are going to be going out for some photos. I did pick up a new lens for the camera finally. I've been looking at this 24mm. I don't know if you guys can see there. Picked up a 24mm lens for the camera and figured with the snow coming down nicely but not too hard, it seems to be melting, so it should be all right to shoot in. Might make for some cool shots. As you guys can see on the hood, I don't know if you actually, my bad, I don't know if you guys can see up there, there is quite a bit of frost kind of accumulating on the hood, which does make for some cool photos when you are out for some pictures of the car. So we'll get ourselves going here, and I guess while we're driving to wherever we're going, I don't really know how long the drive's gonna be today. Hopefully not super long, but the plan is to go out to a sort of a rural kind of side road sort of setup and hopefully get some nice photos. It's a little bit bright out here. I'll just throw on the sun G's real quick. We are gonna go out towards sort of the north side of the area. Guess I'll crack the rear windows open for a little bit more exhaust noise as well. Now I don't know how long we're gonna have until the snow starts accumulating. So they've been saying, I would say probably for, I don't know, the last week or so that we're expecting a decent amount of snowfall. My hope is that it doesn't, because as you guys can already tell, streets are covered here in snow. We had a really bad snowfall recently, and so just really don't want to deal with anymore. I'm ready for winter to be over, ready to get the summer tires on, ready to get the new wheels on. Only got to run them, or the Mugans only got to run them for a short period of time in the fall last year when I got the car, and then the cold weather came in and it was time to swap out to the winters. And of course the Remark exhaust has had its time to kind of break in, so you guys will be able to get a little bit of a, I guess, sample of how it sounds when it's fully broken in after, I think I've had the exhaust on now for about 2,000 kilometers roughly. So you'll get an idea of how that sounds. All right, so we'll get the map up here. We're going to go, the hope is we kind of go up to the north side, not too deep, onto a bit of a side road, and be able to kind of just pull over and you know, get some shots of the car on the side of the road. So that's the plan. And I did pick up a new shift knob as well. So as you guys can see there, we are rocking the to be honest, I don't know if this is, my bad, I don't know if this one is an FK8 or an FL5 specific knob. My research tells me that it's the same knob across the two platforms, but it feels great. Now, if you're looking to buy this knob, you might find it on PRL's website, which is the only place that I could find it, for about $200 US. The downside to that is that they are charging $80 US shipping to bring the knob to Canada, and so then that ends up obviously being 280 bucks US. Convert that to Canadian, you're looking at about 360, 370, and then you probably will have border charges and whatnot, so that brings the total cost of the knob to about $400, which, you know, that don't look like a $400 knob to me. It might be red, it might be from a Type R, but it's just not worth the cost. Shout out to my buddy Chester. If you don't follow him on Instagram, 1TO Integra. He actually found this knob on sale on the marketplace local here, and the guy was selling it for 180 bucks brand new. And so I figured, you know what, if I was willing to, or kind of debating spending $400 on the knob, how can I say no when it's $180? So figured I'd get that, slap it in, and honestly speaking, I don't regret it at all. It's probably my favorite shift knob that I've installed on the car. I will probably make some videos in the future of different knobs that I have. So I do have this one, obviously. I've got the OE knob. I've got the 2 Acuity ESCOs, so the insulated one and the purple one. And I also do have the Mishimoto carbon fiber one, as well as the 271 leather shift knob. Likely going to be selling a couple of them, moving them on to some other, you know, 10th gen, 11th gen owners who can enjoy them. Just because I do not necessarily use them. With the addition of this new Type R knob, honestly speaking, I don't see any reason to change things out. So we are going to be passing the zoo here. So if you guys aren't familiar, this is usually where I kind of start our videos off because it's a little bit of a quieter spot. I'll go up this ramp here on the right and up over the bridge, and there's very rarely there's cars there. Usually you're kind of in a bit of a battle with the TTC buses, but it's not too bad. Makes for some good sort of place to shoot some video. And with the roads being relatively dry today, we should be able to get a few pulls on the car. Like we were saying, the check engine light hasn't come on since the last occurrence, so I'm pretty confident with the car now. I've had quite a few pulls, taken it to redline a few times, and you know, no issues, there's no hiccups, so it's been running great. So you guys will be able to kind of hear that as well. Now, likely where we're gonna end up, it's not really 100% sure of where to go. So this is usually how the photo taking goes these days, is I just hop in the car and I just drive around randomly. You know, there's so many beautiful, awesome spots local to you. You don't have to necessarily be going to like a famous spot or something that's been recommended by a professional or whatever the case is. Really, if you can find just, you know, it's less so the spot I find with the photography, it's more the photo, obviously. And so, you know, it's just to kind of go around, drive around locally and see what sort of different things you can find, or different spots you can find when you're looking for photo spots. So we are going to kind of just head a little bit north, and we'll see what we can come up with. Come to a stop here at the 4-way. And obviously, having the car for about 12,000 kilometers now, you know, obviously gotten used to driving a manual, getting that first to second gear shift on point. You guys can hear that rumbling from the exhaust or the burbles. It just doesn't stop, especially when you're going downhill. It just keeps going. That's hilarious. Does pull good. Traction is a little bit sketchy there. But that also may just be due to the not the best winter tires. But is this Tesla letting us go? Yep. And that LSD is putting in work around the corners. It's really weird coming from a normal front-wheel drive car with no LSD to a full-blown, you know, well, not full-blown, but just going from a non-LSD to a limited slip car. It is night and day difference. The cornering capabilities of this thing are way better. Like, coming corner exit is just so unreal. I can't wait to get this on the track, because the Civic, with that being a CVT and with it being you know, automatic and just generally not the best car for track, it definitely hauled some ass on the track, that's for sure. So, like we say with the Integra, as well as the Civic, you know, they're not fast. They're definitely not fast. They're definitely not fast cars. They're quick. I mean, you know, you certainly feel like you're going fast, but it's just not. That's the best way to describe it. It's very exhilarating. You feel like you're a superstar, but when you look down at the speedo and you just see yourself creeping over 3 digits, it's it's really not the fastest car. But that's not really what I got it for. Again, it's really just to be a comfortable daily driver, which it is, and enough pep to get me around town, which it has. We've got some Canada geese there on the side. So in terms of shot and in terms of spot that I'm looking for, something similar to this, very open, very just open sort of scenery, but I want some space to pull over on the side of the road. So that's kind of what we're, I guess, hunting for today. Is we want to try and find a spot where there's multiple lanes, enough space for me to get to the side of the road and pull over, while also not being too busy. The throttle response is so touchy in sport mode. It's almost, I don't know, like, it's not a bad thing, but I drive the car primarily in normal mode, and so going into sport mode, the throttle response is definitely much more responsive, I guess would be the word. It's definitely more touchy. You definitely, you know, don't need to depress the pedal as far as you normally would in normal mode or comfort mode, but it does make for the car to feel like it's quite a bit faster. So I think what we'll do is we'll hang a left here and just continue to drive and hopefully find some sort of open-ish side road. My guess is we're gonna have to go up north into sort of the Markham area. I mean, even this area is nice. It's the problem with this street is it's so busy. It's like a main road, so it's really not ideal for photo taking. Get a break in the traffic here, can safely make that left turn. Kind of a cool little barn. You know, honestly, if this wasn't such a busy street, it would not be a bad idea kind of just pulling off on the side. But the problem is I want 2 lanes. I don't know, I'd feel safer if I wasn't right on the, you know, right on the side of the road here with the traffic passing. But I'm gonna keep this spot in mind. Might pull up here after just for a couple of shots. But we'll see what the plan is. Got a little bit of a barn situation happening here. I've always wanted to get pictures in a barn or at a barn of sorts, but obviously you don't want to be trespassing. So the problem with the photography, that's actually a kind of a cool little side road there, 4th concession, so I'm going to keep that in mind as well. But the problem with the photography is, like, you know, it almost seems like all the cool spots are on private property or inaccessible, and you kind of have to break some rules and be a little sketch to get the shot. But the goal is to try not to be in that situation. Now, I think what we're gonna do is, to be honest, I think this street here is gonna be good for what I'm looking for, because that gravel path there on the side was pretty deep off into the side of the road, so I should be able to get off the road in a sort of a safe way and not be impeding traffic at all, but we'll see. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, like, these roads here are very, very sort of just straight, boring drives. There's nothing really all too crazy happening on these roads. You know, it is what it is. It's not super windy. You got to go out further to get some nicer roads, but definitely we'll have videos of that in the spring. I do have a little car club that I run here locally, and so we are planning to do some drive routes on the Go Sunday Drive app, which basically just curates a bunch of driving roads and routes which are nearby and local to us. And so shout out to Go Sunday Drive app for that, and also shout out to Hamza for kind of putting me on it. So Hamza obviously is the guy who runs Unity Performance. Unity Performance is the spot that I get all of my mods from, including everything that's on the car right now: exhaust, springs, spacers, the strut bar, the sway bar. All those things are from Unity Performance. That side road there looks almost perfect. So what I'm going to do is going to flip a UE where possible And I think we're gonna go up that side road that we just passed because it looked pretty open. It looked pretty nice. The lighting looked kind of cool, and it might make for some decent shots. I should have turned there and flipped the UE. Damn it. Is this little parking spot lot thing here available to turn into? It is, but it's mad snowy. I'm not trying to get stuck. We'll have to find somewhere to flip around. And obviously crossing over the 407. Save yourself 5 minutes on your drive. Oh, I should have busted a UE here. Damn it, there's so many spots. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a questionable U-turn here. And I know I'm signaling left and going right, but I need to signal to do my UE. All the stuff falling over in the back. Not very fast, but good fun. Definitely good fun. Puts a smile on my face every time I get through the gears. And you're not doing any crazy speeds where you're going to be endangering anyone or getting into too much trouble with law enforcement. But definitely, like we were saying, this car is a good fun to just kind of fart around in. You know, like I said, you're not really going super fast, but fast enough to give yourself a little bit of a thrill. But this Type R knob, definitely recommended. If you can find one for about 150 to 200 bucks, I think you are in good shape. Now, we're gonna take a left here and hopefully find a little spot to pull off on the side. So there's a decent amount on the side here. I know this isn't a 2-lane necessarily on each side, but there seems to be enough of a kind of a curb or runoff on the road that I might be able to pull off and get some cool snow shots. Because really what I wanted is I just want an open field. I just want it to feel very Arctic, feel very cold. So it looks like we found our spots. It's just a matter of where to pull off. I think just about here is going to be the spot to do it, potentially. Got the farm there. Yeah, this looks good. So we'll slap the hazards on and we'll get ourselves off the road as far as possible. Maybe I will go back. Kind of get ourselves into this little nook here. We're a little bit in the snow, but it's not a big deal. Perfect. So this is going to be it. Let me just make sure we are safe to kind of get out of the car. So we got a decent amount of space here. Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna cut the video short here. Again, today was really more so just for me an excuse to get on the video again. I haven't recorded a video in like, I don't even know how long, 2 weeks now. So just something to put some content on the channel, a little review on the Type R shift knob here, and I guess a little quick review after 12,000 kilometers. The car is great, runs great, reliable for the most part. Definitely a fun car to drive, fun car to own, and definitely look forward to making more content in the future. But that's pretty much it for today's guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.